I'm Scott.
I'm Russell.
And I'm Leo. This is Spitball. Welcome to Spitball, where three kooky computer files and a guest empty our heads of startup and tech product ideas that we have stuck up in there so you can all have them for free. Anything that we say is yours to keep. And I believe, Russell, you brought our guest this time. Is that right?
That's right. I brought Jordan here. Know him from the college competitive entrepreneurial business circuit. He started a company called Arindy. He's like a super engineer consultant guy, also on the side. And now he does solar installations. Damn. So he's, living his best life out in these parts, which is hard to do in our neck of the woods.
On that entrepreneur grind.
Yeah. So welcome, Jordan. Thanks for joining. Yeah.
Great to be a guest. Thank you, guys.
So excited to have you. As we all know, not always is the first idea the best idea, except, when it's pitched on our show. This week, for getting a little bit of a warm-up game going, I want to talk a little bit about the pivot. The idea that a business starts off doing one thing and then decides this isn't working and they decide to pivot to something else. We're going to play a little game that I'm going to call Pivot or Fib-It. I want to give you a scenario of a business that did this. Is it true or is it something that I made up? Starting with you, of course, as we always do. Jordan, did you know, yes or no, truth or false, YouTube began as a video dating service where users could upload videos of themselves talking about their ideal partner, and then they decided to pivot to general video hosting. Did that actually happen or did I make that up?
Riveting. I would have tried it if it existed. I don't think it happened.
It absolutely is. That's the origins of the video.
No kidding.
Yeah, they developed this whole stack for like uploading and processing and displaying videos, and they were like, wow, this actually works really well, and nobody wanted to do the dating thing. Apparently VHS dating, but on the internet isn't a thing.
I wonder what their name was before YouTube.
Oh, I don't know. I know that their slogan was tune in, hook up.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's a good thing they did that pivot.
Amazing.
Scott, Amazon began as a library cataloging software company before they pivoted to consumer book sales. Did I make it up, or is that actually the story?
I think that's false. I think it was
false.
just straight up selling books at that point.
Bezos is way too ruthless to be involved in nonprofit.
Yeah. I worked in a bookstore. We were talking about Amazon from the day they went live.
Russell.
Yep.
Yes.
Shopify started as an online snowboard equipment store called Snow Devil before they realized that their e-commerce platform was more valuable than their snowboard sales. True or false?
Whoa, that'd be so cool. I'm going to say true just because I want it to be true.
It's totally true. Pivot in 2006.
Ooh, yeah.
That's exactly how it
Wow.
started. Yep. Jordan. Netflix started as a movie theater subscription service offering unlimited tickets before they pivoted to the DVD by mail, and theaters rejected that model.
I just listened to a competitive podcast about Netflix, and I want to say that's true.
That is something I totally made up. I'm sorry.
Wow, poor memory recall.
Movie Pass equals
Movie Pass,
Netflix.
yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Movie Pass has an awesome documentary out there. Movie Pass, Movie Flop, or something. I forget the name of it, but yeah, Movie Pass itself has its own drama. Scott, Slack started as a gaming company developing an MMO called Glitch, and then their internal chat team tool ended up becoming the main product.
That would be really cool. I do not believe that, though.
That's exactly what happened. No
No
joke.
kidding.
They were called Tiny Speck Studios. They had an MMO out for a year in 2011. Then they shuttered the game in 2012. And they're like, wow, this thing that we built's really good. And then they launched Slack in 2013. And that's how you get bought by Salesforce.
Good for them.
Is that game still playable?
I don't think so. I think it's shut down. Yeah. Russell, Instagram began internally as Bourbon, B-U-R-B-N, a Foursquare knockoff check-in app that you'd focused on whiskey and bourbon lovers, and it happened to have photo features. True or false?
What? No, that didn't happen.
Yeah, that's exactly how it went.
For bourbon and whiskey lovers?
Yeah, it never actually launched. That was how they built and pitched the app at first, and then they're like, wow, all this photo stuff's actually working okay, and then they switched to that.
Oh my gosh.
I know. One more time through. Jordan. Yeah. eBay began as a website for tracking and collecting Pez dispenser collections before they became a general auction site.
Someone who's very passionate about Pez. I gotta say no.
It is, in fact, not true. But that is a story that their marketing department has made up and told before to be whimsical about their origins. Really, it was like an auction site or whatever, but they're like, yeah, we started as a Pez dispenser. It's totally not true.
What a founder story right there.
It was such a bizarre thing for company to lie about their own origins. Scott, Yelp started as an automated email system where you'd email friends for business recommendations, and it would organize your friends' replies before they pivoted to public reviews. True or false?
That actually sounds plausible, but I'm going to still say false. I just don't think that's the case.
That's exactly how it went. It's
God
true.
damn.
Gosh.
Yeah. Crazy.
0-3. Good for you, Yelp.
Yeah.
All right.
It was true. 2004 to 2005, they were this weird little email service, and then nobody wanted to email their friends.
Organized your emails.
I know.
Check out this Chinese place at this gas station. It's great.
And then lastly, Russell. PayPal began as Confinity, making security software for Palm Pilots that let users beam payments to each other over infrared.
Whoa. These are so cool. Yes, it happened. That was it.
That's how it went. 1998, actually.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of weird stories out there. I knew about the YouTube one, so I'm like, I wonder if this has ever happened anywhere else. There's so many other weird ones, right?
Leo, that's like the best game ever.
Yeah.
This is the best game.
That was a really good one.
ever
glad you liked
played.
it. Yeah,
It's like Spitball is like, we're real. Like
Yeah.
every idea, if we had just launched one of these damn things, we'll pivot into a Slack.
What
or
was our origin story?
it'll always be endlessly entertaining to me that YouTube was a dating service. Like, that's always been one of those fun, like, I don't know, tech party trivias that I had in my back pocket. Yeah, it's a good one. Scott's 0 for 3, which I think that means Jordan's a winner.
Hooray.
Scott always gets the hardest.
I'm
think
just
Leo
not good
plays
at these
this.
intro games.
Who wants to kick us off this week?
I can start us off.
Do it. Scott,
Thank you.
you
Yeah.
are the biggest loser, so you have to go first. What is your idea for this week?
Sounds good. I'm going to try. All right, I'm going to put another $1 in the AI swear jar. So sorry ahead of time.
Scotty.
I know. I just
Okay.
they just keep coming.
All right. What do you got?
All right. So was reading a random Stephen King book over Christmas, and there was a scene in it that Stephen King's just a very descriptive writer in every form. And I'm reading this and I'm like, I wonder if anyone's ever made like some fan art of this one going through. Cause this is, people always use fun random fan art if you Google it. There wasn't any, it's a very old book. So I'm like, screw it. I took a picture of it, just the page, put it in ChatGPT, and I said, show me what this looks like. And it created just this incredible rendition of exactly what he described. I had no other prompt than that. Just show me what this author has described. And that reminded me of a time Leo and I used to play D&D a lot. When we had one of our friends, Sean Craddy, he wouldn't play D&D with us, but he would just kind of sit in the corner and just sketch what was happening. And like every 5 or 10 minutes, he would just kind of turn around and hold up like some crazy scene that we were describing because he's a very good artist. He'd be like, oh, that's cool. So all that combined, I want an AI app for live drawing things as you describe them. And the initial thing was just D&D, right? You can go on Fiverr and pay someone, like you describe a scene and they will create the characters and everything and draw it for you. But I want this just like constantly cycling like a Google Photos in the background of just whatever the heck you're talking about, and listening to the conversation, taking in what's going on and displaying it. And just that's the whole idea. And I realized this would be very simple to build app-wise, but I also really want this.
Oh, it's so cool. So like you could take literally, so I'm thinking like Harry Potter, right? Mm-hmm. You have like an illustration per chapter.
Exactly.
But imagine like a couple more of like the most iconic scenes. You take some of the images that the illustrator made before, and now you have a more illustrative version, a picture book of Harry Potter with the same illustrations. Like that just is so cool that you can, that'd be awesome.
Like we're reading Harry Potter to my niece and nephew right now, and they're just like, it's their first time. They're 6 years old and going through and just describing it as you're going. That would be great for children's stories, even if it's Harry Potter. If you're making up a kid's story, it's just like showing pictures of whatever the heck you're talking about to the kids. Does that like deplete their imagination going through? I don't know.
An external imagination box. They're just like, oh, you can give it purple hair and now snakes are around it. And interesting.
Yeah, let them
Exactly.
add to the prompt. Yeah.
No, picture books are like what you start children off. So like we've already killed their imagination before they get to chapter books, right? So
Yeah.
no, but I think no. I guess what I'm saying is I think
picture books ruin your kids. Oh, damn it. We messed it up. Better luck with the next good.
I mean, you could sell this as a service, Scott, to like authors. Like, why not? Just like, all right, we'll take your books, throw some more imagery in there, and you just, facilitate illustrations for different versions, and basically take a book that's as old as time, like Dune, right? Dune is so hard to read. You don't need visuals, but it almost make it better because it's so
There's a
political.
ton of fan art. Like Dune's a great example. There's a ton of fan art. If I Google any scene in Dune, it's been around for so long. People are like, here's all the different ways that I visualize this.
Oh, cool.
But
Right,
so
it's
you
just
can do
another
that
version.
for anything.
So can we just take the copy from a book and just say, hey, convert this to a movie? And blammo, get rid of all of
Oh man,
Broadway?
Storyboard the hell out of it.
yeah. Create a storyboard for this book. Here's every page. Go.
Just imagine the compute needed to do all this. Like you're taking
Burn
a
down their Amazon for it. Yeah.
It's $10 a month. What are you talking about? I think conversationally though it'd be cool. Like I think that's what's
Yeah.
Yeah, the
unique and
fact that it's
different, right?
live, right next to you, going.
So I'm going to generously set aside all the copyright implications here. I am curious, the big budget franchises like your Dunes and Harry Potters, I wonder how much the training set has been tainted by the already existing adaptations. Like, are you only going to get Daniel Radcliffe doing stuff? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like, this would have been such a different prospect if we had been only feeding in art generated from 2012 and prior, or whenever the first couple Harry Potters hadn't been out yet, you know? So it's interesting to think of the implications of, like, oh man, I'm just getting Javier Bardem and Dune or whatever, you know?
That was what was really cool about the Stephen King
Yeah.
page I scanned in, because it was just verbatim. This is the only text you have in the world about this. Just describe what is going on in this scene, and it did. And I guess you could change the prompt in some form to be like, just describe exactly what is in this text. Describe a kid with a lightning bolt scar and brown hair and blah blah blah.
How was the representation of the image that it came out with?
It was fantastic. I put it
Really?
on the subreddit immediately. I'm like, guys, this is really cool. Check this out.
Wow.
AI as the collector and indexer and organizer of the thing that you want the scene of is the key. Where you've got like, oh man, take this page and figure out what are the key parts that are actually important to depict. Or you're listening for a half hour to rambling at a D&D table. Turn that into like the moment and hear you
Yes.
describe that in a couple of sentences, right? It's the art piece that I'm hung up on. I'm worried about all the existing fan artists, and I'm worried about the
I know.
I know that Fiverr's probably not long for this world because all of those are low-hanging fruit to be automated away. How can we turn this idea into something that doesn't eliminate humans from the picture?
Straight up storybook or a device for when you're making up a story for your kids. And that's the only one I can come up with, where it's just visually showing whatever crap you're making up.
ChatGPT and Claude are both excellent at creating bedtime stories.
Crap.
I don't know if you've tried that before. No. Like to read to your kid. Write me a quick story about the two guys from Paw Patrol who go on an adventure to meet the Mars rover, because those are the things that you're into right now, 4-year-old, And then, oh man, it is so good.
One of my friends made a little demo of AI, and they were saying, hey, we're going to make some kids' books. And so with whatever prompt you want, it's like, hey, Blueberry goes on an adventure. First, it writes that script. It says, hey, we're going to write it in 12 different pages. It then summarizes the copy from that, generates a cover title image,
Oh my god.
and then it generates an image per page as well. And he was like, yeah, I did this in the afternoon. It's pretty much free, maybe like $12 a month just for subscriptions. And it's
that was
just
me. That was me.
Yeah, that was Russ. That was
That
Russ.
was you. Leo was there for that, right? You were
It
there.
was. Yeah.
Oh, good.
It's incredible, right? Freaking AI books but no, I agree. It's amazing, right, Jordan? Like, and
I'm
Leo,
sorry I forgot that you made that presentation, Russ.
Oh, I know. I'm not
this
memorable.
really smart friend. I can't remember who it was, but it was so impressive.
It's not this dumbass in the room, but no, I'm kidding. But I think there's something about like a real time thing, Scott, that'd be so cool.
Yes,
Real time
that's what
is
I'm
where
stuck
it's
on
at.
too. That is so cool. Having the thing that's listening in the room and like summarizing,
Ignoring all the
notes.
other crap and just focusing on the main part of the main scene, like you said. I think that's the key.
I'm embarrassed I didn't think of it, but the worst part of playing D&D is recapping what happened last time and trying to get back up to speed when you first sit down at the table again or online or whatever. Having it listen to the last couple of sessions and writing here's what you should be remembering, here's where we're starting notes is so good.
Also just being able to use it as like making myself be a good artist. I can just look at a screen and be like, oh yeah, it's a forest grove with this and that, and adding adjectives and like enabling a kid to do that too and unleash their creativity through their eyes and voice. And
Ooh, like, okay, what if you brought this into schools and like, all right, kids, everybody, you're gonna write a story, like a couple sentence story, and then you use this tool and it generates a cover or an image and a picture of your, this story, and this kid probably is like, whoa, my story came to life, right? There's some visual like buzz that you get when high for a kid, when you're like, oh, whoa, my art is alive, right? So I think that's inspirational, right?
I saw a feel good social media post this week of a teacher who fired up a local image generator on her computer at home, took pictures of all the kids in her elementary school class. You saw that too. And then generated, here's what you would look like as the career that you want to be. Here's you as an astronaut in 20 years. Here's you as a, doctor or whatever. Really cool.
Just connects the
kids
dots.
were
Something
really
about
into
that,
it.
right?
Yeah. Visualizing it like tangibly. Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking like, okay. I feel like charades. Wait, sorry. I want to do one more. I think this like would be really interesting for like a board game like charades or something. Where like, I know this sounds crazy, but so Pictionary, I guess like a real life example of this is like real time image descriptions, right? So imagine you and your AI friend, like this is just a whole new game. It listens to your conversation and you're trying to create an image that would, and I feel like we got to figure this out a little bit more, but like you have to talk to the AI and it has to generate an image, and it probably like, you have to say the right words in order to create the right response or something, right?
You ever play teledraw where you have like everyone starts with
That's
the same
it.
prompt, and then the next person draws that, and then the next person after that is only allowed to describe what they drew, and then they fold that over, then the next person is only allowed to draw what that description was, and you kind of do the like game of telephone where you're only either looking at a picture and describing it or vice versa. You need to do that, but like Jackbox style, where it's got an AI in the middle that you're describing to, trying to get it to generate the thing. Whatever it comes up with, someone else has to try to interpret. You could like have it be one of the players. That could be a really fun game.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't have something like that. Like,
Yeah.
AI-enabled Pictionary.
Because it's expensive as hell to run those language
That's
models
fair.
and
Yeah.
image generators. And they don't have venture capital funding to burn.
My $2 a month subscription-free fee to Jackbox is enough.
Would you pay $20 a month for Jackbox Plus?
right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not.
All right, Jordan, what have you brought this week?
So I've always been fascinated about those drinking fountains, like the E-Clay water bottle filters, where that perfect laminar flow comes out of it and just fills your water bottle just perfectly. Like that beautiful laminar flow. Like I've always just trying to imagine like redirecting that into like this arch that I can grab in my mouth, or like shoot it around the airport where I'm just, everyone's looking for some sort of entertainment. I've always just wanted to be able to drink from a drinking fountain with a bit more excitement. And I feel like that E-Clay water bottle filler is like the start of my childhood dream of just catching water in my mouth.
Like the jumping fountains that you see in
Like the downtown,
decorative thing.
downtown parks. But you can drink the water instead of get chlorine filled with it.
Yes. You just don't recycle it.
Salmonella.
That's fun.
Dude, that'd be fun as heck. You just walking around like, I get a drink real quick, and you just full on hibachi, throwing the broccoli in the mouth.
I mean, that's how I'm picturing it. Where like there's just like a thing where like put your head here, open your mouth, and don't move. Something shoots from 100 feet away and hits it perfectly.
The Guantanamo simulator.
Oh God.
There is something memorizing about a laminar flow, though, right? Like, what is up with that? Yeah.
It's so cool.
I'm just imagining like it could go into like sentry mode, where all of a sudden maybe it's not just like the stick your head here kind of mode, but we can direct it and aim it. And
We had a previous guest pitch us that, but in the backyard on their roof, getting water at squirrels and stuff to spook them away.
Ooh.
You almost want that, but like for people.
Keep them out of his crops.
squirrels,
Yeah.
children, all of the above.
I don't remember who this. There's some YouTuber who created a wastebasket that if I were to crumple up paper and toss it behind me, the wastebasket would always move to the position. It would track the trajectory and do the calc and figure out, okay, it's got to go here.
Dude, of course.
I mean, you could do that with your laminar flow, right? It's just there's a camera. It's watching your face. It knows where your mouth is. XYZ coordinates. I know that if I shoot it from this angle, this spot's going to hit you perfectly, even if you're
Big
moving.
box on the floor, drawn in tape. Anywhere in there where you look at the wall, the second you open your mouth, you get blasted.
You just got to yell pull, and then it'll shoot in. And wherever you are, it'll hit you.
Pull!
That seems like an art installation. Like, Jordan, you put that at GR, like whatever.
For real.
Yep. And now you're walking around. It's like,
Put that at Art Prize.
water conservation. You'll have a whole thing around it, and you're like,
You can make some backstory with it. You'll figure it out. Do the why later.
Water conservation. We drained 20,000 gallons through this installation, but look how beautiful it is.
it's to bring awareness, all right? It's all in good faith. It's all.
of course.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You know what's even better than reusing plastic water bottles is having no water bottles to
There we
destroy the
go,
earth at all,
right?
Russell. We just have these on every street corner.
It's the city of the future. Anywhere in the world, you could say pull, and you'll just get water.
From orbit.
Love it.
Feature from Starlink. I love it.
From Starlink.
We just attach these giant-ass cannons to the top of every cell phone tower. There you go.
Pay the subscription fee, and you get like root beer or something.
Okay, wait, hold on. This made me think, Jordan. So the laminar flow. What if you created a water? Is this a water bottle that does laminar flows? Or are you just talking about the
Oh, interesting.
filler, right? Okay. What if you
filler.
had, so using the power of laminar flows, okay? You have a water bottle that turns into a water fountain that recycles, and so now you're just, I don't know how gross that is. But like, so imagine you have a water bottle.
Wait.
It's got a spout and a receiving end, right?
Okay.
And so
No, that's where you lose me. How does it have a receding end?
okay.
So,
A laminar flow.
so it's-
It'll go straight up and into back in the water bottle. There's a bowl.
It's a funnel on top?
You've got a little tiny basin on the
Okay,
top
here's
of the cap of the water bottle.
Portable
like a
drinking
tiny
Here's the
mini
basin,
baby drinking
okay?
fountain.
Wait,
I have a
it shoots
prototype right
into
here.
itself,
Here's
you're
the
saying.
basin.
This is an audio podcast, Russell.
Use ChatGPT to describe it based on Russell's
Yeah, listeners,
description
go on
here.
ChatGPT and figure this out, okay?
Are you saying a little tiny baby drinking fountain where there's both a spout and a drain at the top of a bottle?
Yeah.
But it's just recirculating. Yeah.
But
then
it's
you
all
just-
in a water bottle.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Now
That'd be fun.
Now we're talking like futuristic, and you can go all this into like, oh, you never have to clean your dirty water bottle, right? You know how those water bottles always get dirty? Dude, sorry, Jordan, we'll talk about this later. We'll make this into a real thing.
Drinking fountains, famously clean. This is fun. I mean, it'd be novel for sure. The novelty of it would be great.
It's kind of like the Gatorade water bottles where you just squeeze and it just blasts
Yeah.
this.
Oh, there we go.
Chaotic
That makes way
stream
more
at
sense
you.
than my stupid.
But laminar flow. There's a differentiating factor. What makes you unique?
It's luxury. It's the luxury version of the Gatorade bottle.
Well, we can pitch Louis Vuitton on this. Don't mess up your makeup. Go straight in your mouth. Yep.
Louis, Gucci. Dude, Kanye is going to be all over this if he's still around, He's going to be all about this.
All right. I'm going to hand this over to you, Russell.
All right, guys. Well, hope you guys had a happy holidays.
It's coming out in late January.
What an intro.
Coming out late January. But, one of the things that happens every Christmas, at least with my family or some version of it, is like kind of like a dessert potluck or like kind of thing. And so, but since I don't like see my family all that often, I was like, and I think we had pitched a similar idea, but I want to take this up a notch. But it's like the idea of a cookie exchange remotely sending and receiving cookies or desserts or whatever you have that you want to do an exchange on. And you can do it with your family, your friends, and you can create a whole app system behind it with like sending food, all that good stuff, right? Because I feel like the idea of sending food sounds really whimsical and idealistic, but then when you actually go to do it, you're like God, what am I paying for this box? How am I supposed to keep this cold? Like, where's the cardboard, right? Like, and so I think the app would like an app version of this would match with people, match with your family. You can create groups. You can create like a Secret Santa almost experience with like a cookie exchange, a dessert exchange, or whatever, right? And we have special boxes, let's say, that allow for 10 boxes to be packed really quickly and cheaply, or some fulfillment aspect that makes it a little bit more fun and easy than like getting 10 USPS red boxes, and like for $5 you're sending 15 $5 8 cookie things. So I just feel like that experience would never be fun unless you have this packaging, maybe an app service behind it to make this type of exchange happen, right? So yeah, I'm trying to save the U.S. Postal Service. No, but yeah, that's it. Cookie exchange app plus fulfillment thing.
I love the idea of imagining like a robot pick up grandma's famous apple pie and then going to some co-packing facility that just chops it up and sends it to all of her grandkids. And
Grandma, can you mail a pie to this warehouse every year, please?
only if I see you during Christmas.
Oh shoot! What if we just made the recipes? That's a great idea. I don't know if that's what you're going. Like, you send us the recipe and we manufacture it.
Recipe fulfillment as a service.
Grandma's secret recipe.
That's interesting.
But I really like that idea,
It stays a secret because it's in their facility.
Yeah.
It's encrypted.
You have your 256-bit AES encryption. If you are putting in the recipe, then you have the economies of scale of the business having 1 million, pounds of flour and sugar and all this stuff. You're just like, yeah, that's fun. You need like how it's made, but just bespoke individual. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The pies then move down the conveyor belt to the flour station. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like each one is bespoke and unique and individual for the whatever recipe, and then it's combining like factory automation with homemade grandma's whatever.
That wouldn't be hard to automate either. Like a PLC with there's a finite number of ingredients that can go into a cookie, right? Or honestly, you could do it with any recipe, but if we're sticking with cookies,
and then you can publish your recipe or just the title of your thing as your collection, your store, your Shopify store. Here's all the things, but it's just like when those people have like a t-shirt design company, but really they're just uploading their graphic that they made in Photoshop and then outsourcing all of the printing and stuff to one of those shops. Except you have your recipes, you have your storefront, you click buy, they're doing the fulfillment and taking a chunk of it.
If
rules.
that existed, every single year I would go online and I would sort by top recipes of this year, and I would order a variety bin of that
100%.
every year.
It's like those Hogwarts jelly beans where some of them are super delicious and some of them are just disgusting and gross.
You've got your rating system, you've got your social aspect where it's like, this month is, pie month or whatever. Oh man, this writes itself.
Grandma, I'm gonna sassify your cookie recipe.
How do we monetize Grandma?
Everybody subscribe to my cookie subscription.
What's it called?
Shoot, I don't know. Grandma's.
The virtual grandma's house. Yeah.
What about like
Grandma's kitchen.
recipe.real?
Ooh, there we go. Real recipe.
Jordan, are you looking at domains right now?
I was. That's on my screen operator. The download them before you guys do.
He already bought 4.
Buy the domain. We're almost there. That's the hardest part.
Gonna buy them before you guys do.
This would be fun. Can you imagine getting like Grandma's cookies on tap, dude?
Yeah.
Oh man, I really want
What is
some
that
cookies.
called when you have those fulfillment companies doing like 90% of the work for you?
They do it with a compounding
There's a
facility.
name for that.
Drop shipping?
It's not drop shipping quite, where like you are doing the actual design work and curation, but then you're basically drop shipping everything else. There's a name for that like industry. That but food is so interesting because when you're first pitching like, cookie exchange with a random person, Secret Santa style, it's like, oh, how does that prevent me from getting arsenic cookies? But
Right.
if I'm just going and like, if I'm I trust that the actual place is making the food because they only they're curating the recipe on their end. They're doing the fulfillment.
Yeah,
That's so
and you
fun.
can get a copy yourself. Like let's if you don't want to buy make cookies yourself. You're like, I'm just gonna buy 3 dozen of my own cookie recipe online and send it to
Dude.
me. Right?
If you wanted to start this today, you don't have to own the factory. You could make ghost kitchen agreements and do this locally. Like,
Yeah.
you go through and you are the platform that people on one end are uploading recipes to, and on the other end are ordering from their local restaurant, but they don't know it. And it's getting DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever, to their house from what's actually an Applebee's, oven or whatever.
Whoa.
You're like a highly customizable cookie ghost kitchen, like a bakery ghost kitchen instead of
Yeah.
I've seen commercials for like shampoos or lotions, like, oh, it's for curly hair versus this, and fill out this form, and they'll custom blend you a specific formula. It's like I've seen that in like the dermatology kind of style of worlds, but never in the cookie world. I like it.
Whoa. We could do this for lotions. No.
A lot of bakeries and donut shops and bagel stores and stuff run their kitchens really, really hard from like 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. and then they sit unused a lot of the rest of the day. If you could like have a couple of contract workers going in and asking your local bakeries, hey, can I use your equipment a couple hours a week to make these recipes and fulfill them out? You could make this happen.
Yeah, I know.
That's what you meant the whole time.
That's right. No, Jordan's like something about recipes. I'm like, oh shoot, this is it. This is why we spitball. This is way better.
It's so much better. That's really fun.
Dude.
It all started out as an idea from Russ for Grandma's Cookies.
Grandma, stop peddling your SaaS product to us at Christmas, 4-month subscription to my cookie recipe on whatever, cookies.com, Grandma's Cookies.
You're almost like telling people to like open an Etsy store and stuff, right? But you're handling the actual creation of the thing. You'd have to worry a little bit about the quality variance across all the ghost kitchens or whatever. Like their oven doesn't make it like I did at home, but if you could get that dialed in, send proofs to the original recipe maker, make sure they're happy with it. Does this represent your vision for whatever? You don't even have to be
Proofs.
Yeah.
right? Because you don't even have to be a person who owns all of those ingredients and equipments and stuff. I don't personally in my life have a stand mixer right now. I just never have. We don't need one enough to warrant buying a KitchenAid mixer. But if I could go and write up 12 recipes that are interesting to me that do use a KitchenAid mixer and have them all sent to me once, I like those, yes. Now anyone can buy them and I get a cut. That's so fun.
Whoa. What if you just...
I'm hype on this.
What if you so what if you didn't even bake it? What if you just made the dough or like the ingredients, and then when they get it, that way you save on like the manufacturing or the baking process. And so you get them, and now Grandma's Cookies, you just mix these together. Now it's like the ready, the Betty Crocker.
Add the liquids and you're done.
Yeah.
Custom cookie dough.
It's exact, and it's just like a mix of flour and sugar of Grandma's, right?
It's all of them are just some ratio of that. Different forms of cinnamon or other things in there.
But the butter content, nobody wants to know how much butter Grandma puts in it. So you got to make sure you deliver that one separate or something, right?
This would not be a hard one to start either.
The entire culinary industry is about like high volume though. Like it's all about like we're doing mint chocolate chip ice cream today and for the next month, and then we'll switch over. Like there's
That's true. So you just have to really push hard the like 10 featured recipes and say, oh, you might not get them for 2 weeks because we're going to do them in batches or whatever.
I like crumble cookies.
How often do you urgently need Grandma's cookie?
And that's why you ship them frozen cookie dough, because then they're not as on demand, like increase that shelf life, easier to ship.
Sure.
What if you made this into like a world competition? Like worldwide competition, right? This is maybe what you're saying, Leo? Like, all right.
And you can hone those recipes at home if you have all the equipment and ingredients, but you don't even need to have those. Use the service yourself to send you the various versions of what you want to try to make and go with your favorite.
Order.
Do top cookie in each state, and then the states compete, and now...
Yes.
Yeah, you just have a year-long...
Make it a game.
Yeah. Like at the end of the year, you release the best cookie competitor of the year, and now everybody can buy those cookies, right? You subscribe to a year-long subscription of cookie competitions and recipe making, and now you have the economies of scale, right?
I want this
The
now.
best
It's quite bad.
chocolate chip cookie as, nationwide.
I've been raving to my wife about the chocolate chip cookies that I make, and I haven't made them in the past 2 years. We've been married for a year and a half. She's never tasted these things.
If you could upload that recipe and click
Boom.
buy now and they'd be there in a couple
There
days,
you go, honey.
would you still do it? Yeah.
You got a lot to live up to then, Jordan.
There's a chance that like an industrial kitchen would be able to do your recipe better justice than your home equipment and ingredients would. Like I have a weird ingredient that I normally wouldn't have access to, or my oven variance and temperature a little bit too much, or whatever it is, It might be better.
Really true.
At least more consistent.
Yeah.
Because they do this for like pizza machines. Like they do that one machine, dough goes in, toppings go in, and then you can get a pepperoni or a pineapple and ham and all those different stuff. But
And if that cookie wins, like nobody has to know the recipe. Now it's like an asset on your website, right?
Yes.
The 2022 winner,
Absolutely.
the 2023 winner, right?
gamifying it.
How do we get competitors? I feel actually I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to compete.
It's so easy for the store owner. They just have to type in on a computer what they want their cookie to look like, and then we make it for them. Like, the low barrier entry is a plus. And if you really are worried about it, then you generate a bunch of fake grandmas, and you make some common recipes from Betty Crocker and stuff, and you like have those be the top cookie that someone has to try to beat, but you don't tell anyone, and you kind of seed your own platform with, fake recipes or popular recipes until you get going. Boom.
Dude, we go to the those like local community apple pie county fair kind of style. We just reach out to all of those people and say, hey, you want to make a lot of money with your apple pie? We have a competition, fantasy pie off, pie ball. All right. I don't know if that works. And we're going to take your apple pie recipe, mass produce it for 100,000 people that are going to, test, and taste your apple pie. And now you have like 30 different, like 15 slices out there for 100,000 people. Like that would be
Oh my God.
Little-
This idea rules.
crazy awesome.
Take a picture of that pie and send it to GPT, and they'll tell you the ingredients already.
Reverse engineer this pie. We'll save that one for next week.
Then you get acquired by some like giant cookie company.
Look out. Keebler's coming for you.
The big dough boy. Oh, Leo, what you got this week?
All right. I got a pretty simple problem. Very similar to the library books, my bookshelf thing that I want to make. But my closet is filled with shirts, and I know that I have too many sweatshirts and T-shirts and dress shirts, and I never know which ones to get rid of because I'm not very aware of wardrobe and fashion and clothing. But I know that I don't wear some very often, just because I back into liking certain ones more than others. But if I just look at everything at once, I don't know which ones to actually keep or how often I wear them. I want to inventory my closet. I want to have some sort of tag or barcode or stamp or something hidden on the inside hem of every shirt that I own. And every time I pull it out, I scan it or I tap it or I do something to it so that I have a frequency worn graph. And then I can say, what are the top 20 things that I haven't worn in the last year? Or what shirts do I need to back off on? Hey, buddy, you wore that shirt 8 times in the last 2 weeks. Are you sure? Because I really don't have an eye for like paying attention to this. I always make my what am I going to wear today decision with no thought at the very last second, as I've already stepped out of the shower and I'm looking at stuff. I reach for whatever feels right, and I'm not a fashion guy, like I said. So, yeah, I need a device to help me be more aware of what things go well together and what things I don't like and wear and why don't I like them, and draw that to my attention. So what are unintrusive... I always rip the tags out of every T-shirt I own. What are unintrusive ways that
You're not
I
making
can...
this easy, Leo.
Yeah, I know. How do I hide this, like, tracking? Is it something printed on the inside? Maybe it's like a ink tattoo sort of thing that gets put on the inside of the sleeve or something. Or maybe it's, I don't know, on the bottom of the hem of the waistline of the shirt and pant or something.
My gut reaction was an NFC tag, like sewed into it somewhere.
And
But
How thin can those
they make
get?
those for laundromats that you can just kind of sew them in or iron them on.
Okay.
iron-ons.
Really?
Iron-on would be perfect. I would totally iron them all on. And then
Yeah.
build an inventory system.
Come in with your RFID scanner,
Honest-
just like beeping all around you.
Yeah, right.
Just get a megawatt scanner just on your door. You don't even have to like hold it up to it. It just goes.
Sir, I'm the TSA. Do you have any metal objects on you? Everything I own is an NFC tag.
Take off your shirt.
I need to strip down naked.
It's on my underwear, officer.
Yeah, right.
You could probably just do it with a camera system too, honestly. Just like, hey, stand in this one spot every day when you're fully dressed, and it just takes a quick snapshot. They would be able to recognize if you wore that shirt how many times in a row.
It's so
It always
true.
goes back to
I
AI.
wonder if it knows the difference between my 3 or 4 like plain white or plain black tees, though.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I have white T-shirts that are way more worn than the other ones.
Yeah. Or that'd be great. I am certain I have some shirts in there that are high school or like very, 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 very old that I really should be told, like, hey, dummy, that's an inside shirt.
That's an inside shirt.
Don't go outside with that one.
I know exactly. Everybody has those,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Don't wear this one in public.
Right.
I think I'm wearing 2 of those shirts right now. Yeah.
Paint a room with that shirt, you know?
Exactly. That one's going to the paint pile. I am totally I don't know what's wrong with my brain where I'm totally comfortable grabbing every shirt and undershirt and pair of pants and tapping it to a reader and then putting it on, but I cannot for the life of me remember, like, have I worn this recently? Is this one that I actually like? Do these look good together? You know?
I really want a scanner in front of the washing machine too. I don't know if I would use this, but to have that data where I knew how many times I've washed this one or worn it since then going through.
This brand tends to last longer than the other ones, or
All this
yeah.
data, it'd be so good.
yeah.
Whoa. I didn't think about putting it in the washing machine. That'd be... And then, like, LG or Samsung would sell, you know, those little, like, things. Put it in every one of your shirts, right? So now it's like, oh, this is, you know, part of your smart washing machine. You know, you throw it... You don't have to... You know, LG and Samsung will buy this, right? But first you create an attachment that you put in your dryer, and it... As it's tumbling, scans all the items in there, but you got to buy those little tags, and now you're like, you get your plotted chart and graph. But that's just for wear and tear. It doesn't, like, show you in your sexy man suit, Leo. You know, an inventory of that, right? So,
And then it modifies the
Like-
wash cycle. Like, oh, this is a delicate, or oh, these are jeans.
Whoa!
Almost all of our clothes have that indecipherable hieroglyphic set of tags that's like, this is a square with an X through it, and this is 3 triangles and a 30. What the hell does that mean? Or, you know, like, we should turn that into something that the washing machine can read for sure.
It just spins on its own a couple of times ahead of time and then figures out what's in there
Yeah.
and then does the
Yes.
cycle.
Yes.
damn.
Damn.
So I guess the minimum product here, if I wanted to build this totally homemade, would be some kind of screen printing that puts a QR code hidden on everything I own.
QR code.
Why not?
It
Or
would
like
work.
a serial number or something. Or like, see, NFC tags are fun, but they'd be convenient to scan in, but the cost per is a little higher. What? What do you have?
It just reminded me of my next, what was going to be my next intramural idea. It was just a terrible one where I wanted socks that would match themselves in the dryer. And I was trying to figure out, like, can I take like different
Magnets or
combinations of
something?
magnets and like get like a ring of magnets or something and sew them into the sock, but they're super thin, but they're in different, it's like north, north, south, north, south that matches with south, south, north, south, north. So only those 2 socks would stick together in the dryer.
And then,
That's interesting.
then you pull the socks out of the dryer, and they're just all along the rim of the whole dryer.
They've stuck to the drum,
We didn't think this through.
but they're sopping wet.
An aluminum drum.
I was trying to think, is there some way I could do like magnets in order for it to scan it as it goes by? But
Right,
No,
right.
no.
Or something like that, where
Yeah.
it's somehow attracted to itself only.
Leo, I think you could get, like, there's a trendy, like, thing where you can put a leather patch, like a tiny little leather. They have these, like, little leather patches that I see on certain
Oh.
hoodies.
I got one on this
Yes.
shirt right
Hey,
here.
Yes.
Boom!
yes.
It's like a random thing on the outside.
You see, you just take that, apply it. Now you got your brand logo on it. You scan it every time, and people are like, "Oh, that
You know
guy's
how
cool."
some people have the stamp that's like from the library of Leo Herzog, but from the wardrobe.
From the
Yes. Oh, yikes.
You're like putting a wax seal on each shirt. That's fun.
it's horrible in the dryer, but
It looks cool and
Right.
chic from afar, but then you read it and you're like, wow, okay.
Right. You need something really, 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 really durable. QR code ink screen printed is fine. NFC tags, maybe. Waterproof, sure. What else? I don't know.
Even if it's not durable, you just replace the tag, right? Or
Yeah, I suppose.
I think, like, Stitch Fix or one of these other, like, clothing subscription companies would send this to everybody for free in their wardrobe, right? And now they can measure, oh, Leo really loves that red pattern shirt. I'm going to send him an email with 3 similar shirts like
Whoa.
that to match his style and look, right? and you're using it
Absolutely.
as like, oh, I just want to figure
Or
out.
Amazon to hone your ads.
Yeah.
Boom. Like, sure, send me ads if I give you all this data about my clothing. Like, there's certain times when I want ads, and this is the time, right?
Right. You're wearing this one a lot. Yes, absolutely.
Here's 3 other styles, right?
You could loop Ditto in on it, being like, hey, there's a shirt in your closet that's you haven't touched in 2 years. Like, donate it.
Whoa.
Your local Salvation Armies and Goodwills. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's also 17 other shirts just like the one you really love at Ditto right now that you should go buy.
Ditto is a local thrift shop.
Yeah, man. I think it would be cool. I have so many clothes in my closet right now. I also lost, so this is really up. I lost a shirt for 3 years, and it was in a quarter zip. I had taken off my quarter zip and this collared shirt, and I threw it in the back of the closet. And every time I look at the quarter zip, I have the green side out instead of the red side. And so I never wore it. And then literally a week before Christmas, I'm like, oh my God, I thought I lost this shirt years ago. It was like my favorite shirt.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yes, found it. But if only I'd scanned it in my QR code drobe, or something, whatever you name it, Leo, I would have known.
All right. So you guys are real friends. Am I narrowcasting to just me, or is there anything here that someone would want? Okay, you think that this is something that
I
somebody
would
else would want?
love the
Okay.
data. I would absolutely love the data, but I'm also a very lazy son of a bitch, and I would not scan my
Yeah.
clothes if I put them on. I would for a while, but after like the second week, I would stop doing that.
Would you tear apart your closet and barcode
I
them all?
would. On my
a lot of work,
motivation
would you?
would last like that first week, and I would do it all and go through and be like, this great system, and then it would peter out, which is why I'm still thinking the camera or something that's passive in the background that just does it and collects it.
Just put a camera in the bathroom when you're getting dressed. No problem.
Oh, it could be the mirror, right? It could be your mirror.
Oh.
As long as you just
Yeah.
gotta stand in front of your mirror every day.
Then press the button to open the shutter. We're going to be very good about
Oh.
privacy consciousness in the bathroom. Hey, everyone. We have a cool new bathroom camera technology. We're excited to sell you. Yeah.
Bought by Amazon 3 days later.
Right.
Maybe it's just recency bias for me because I'm sitting in our closet currently. But
That's right.
my wife has a bunch of clothes and they're all folded up, but they're stacked or they're in like. How can she know what she has?
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I am. The T-shirt that is most likely to be worn is in the top 2 or 3 of the 5 piles.
Which
I
is
have
the one
for
that
sure.
you just wore last week, or
Exactly.
Yep.
And once in a while, when I'm really ambitious, I flip it upside down or shuffle it a little bit.
that's clever. You gotta adopt the FIFO method, first in, first out. And
Yeah, I need to
care of
like
your
put
clothes.
them on the bottom or something. Yeah, for sure.
Man. No, I think the mirror, maybe that's what it is. Sure, you have like issues with like the same shirt,
That's so intrusive.
but like,
I love it.
Even that's useful. Like, hey, you wear plain white shirts a lot, bud. Cool it.
right. But like, people take selfies in the mirror all the time, right? So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
you could even like see, maybe not inventory, but like, what do you want to wear today? And it just shuffles clothes. And knowing that you have it in the closet, it would be nice to know if they were dirty or not, right? So like, I just don't want to think when I open my closet because I haven't had my coffee yet, let's say. I just want to know if there's clean clothes, which one, boom.
If I could look at a dashboard on my phone and see you have a 38% left on the clean, it's starting to get close. Do a couple laundry loads, dummy. That's pretty enticing to a lazy SOB.
That is
like
really
me.
cool.
It's like a gas tank. Hey, your underwear drawer's getting pretty empty there, bud.
You change your underwear every day, right? This week, just ask the question.
My trouble is the opposite. I over launder. I throw stuff into the laundry pile when it probably doesn't need to be cleaned yet, and so my clothes don't last as long. But I feel better about like every day is a brand new clean start, So that's especially why I have this problem, is being able to track all that stuff is like, wow, I have used those shirts too much and I need to switch it out for those ones that I also like. I just don't happen to see right in front of me or whatever,
I'm the opposite of that, but it still lends me to the same problem because I wore these jeans yesterday and I wore them today.
And I'm gonna tomorrow.
And then they sit in my too clean to be washed pile. It's like
Yeah.
by the end of the month, I've worn them 12 times.
And then you do like a whole month's worth of laundry because you're just like, boom, right?
You've got a couple of other pairs of jeans that are nice, but you just don't happen to wear them because they're not in the like active pile or whatever.
I need some notification to be like, hey, you just wore those pants 6 times already. Go wash them.
Sure. And if I'm tapping out my boom, 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 okay, on my reader or taking my picture or whatever, and it's keeping track of that, then that's pretty doable. It's the how do you get the data in problem that I haven't quite cracked yet. So
I did a project with some like warehousing with RFID tags, and man, we could scan 56 RFID tags in a giant 4 foot by 4 foot by 8 foot pallet, just like pass it right through a loading bay door.
You need a lot of energy for that.
That was
distance.
a beautiful reader, I will say that.
that's cool.
But a couple $100
So
bucks.
if I'm just walking through my bathroom door frame on the way out to start my day, and it's like boom, 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 got those 5 things.
My fillings are like humming when I go into my bathroom, you know?
Yeah.
Well, it'd be like the library books, right? Those library book things, you know, you just have install one of those in your house. I don't know what those things cost, but
or the scanners at the grocery store, like those can check for
The metal thing.
tags.
dude, I think the data is so valuable. Like, do you know how many clothing companies would just pay out the ass for that? I don't know what else to say. They would, like, that would be amazing data. You would basically give this out for free if you could figure out how to capture this data. Like,
And I would take it for free if it meant better ads, like you said. Like, no ads is great. If I have to have ads, useful ads are the next best thing. And if it's suddenly showing me, wow, it looks like that brand of sock that normally is expensive is having a 20% off sale. You like those socks. That is useful. Getting that, to improve my advertising experience would be nice.
man, I feel like a lot of our app ideas are like, if only we had a mother that could just take care of us.
Our poor wives.
Leo, you wore that short again. I've been, you know,
Oh, no.
let me do your laundry. It's taken a while. You know, it's just
We need more women on this show.
Robo Mom,
Only someone took care
the
of you.
clothes edition.
Can't my robot mommy set out my outfit in the morning? I'm so confused.
God.
I have all these shirts.
You privileged child.
Mom, I need new shirts.
No, you don't. You just don't wear the ones that I bought you. Thanks, RoboMom. Well, dear listener, if you are listening to us while doing laundry, think about where you'd put that QR code on your shirt and shoot us an email if you have any idea about that. We are podcast@spitball.show. Jordan, it's been so awesome having you. Thank you so much for being on the show today, man.
My pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Like I said, our website is spitball.show. There you can find YouTube channel, all of our social media, all that stuff. We are podcast@spitball.show. Email us feedback, ideas, etc. That's also how you can follow us on the Fediverse, such as Mastodon. We are podcast@spitball.show or on Blue Sky at spitball.show. Our subreddit is r/Spitball Show. Our intro-outro music is Swingers by Bonkers Beat Club. Please, like I've said every episode, if you have a minute, that one friend is always saying, man, I wear the same outfit every single day. Or maybe you just noticed they wear the same outfit every single day. Send them an episode. We think that they are our people. And if you wouldn't mind, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Overcast, whatever you listen to us on. That would be the best way for people to find out about the show. New episode is coming out in 2 weeks. We will see you then.